for is going to have to be in one of these places. And so it isn't that. I've not been super happy with any of the tutorials on how to solve the face-turning octahedron, so I'm making another video on how I solve it, and then we'll do a time solve. So the way we approach it is, first, after it's scrambled, we do the first layer, then we do the second layer. Let's try that again. Then we do the second layer, we do most of the third layer, and then finally we fix up the corners and we solve it. So, yeah, I guess first let's just give this a scramble. Alright, so first thing we gotta do, let's look at the white edges. So by an edge piece, I mean any piece that has two colors here. So this would be the white and blue, white and green, and then we need the white and purple. So if we have, so we'll make this our white face. And we have to be very careful in the order that we pair these up. Because, so let's say we assume we have a white blue here and a white purple here. If we get the white purple and blue edge, we'll see, or white purple blue corner, we'll see that all of these, they do not match this. So in other words, these would have to swap. The way we approach this is, let's just look at any one white edge, and I see that the other white edge is on the top over here, and it needs to go here. And we know this because if blue's here and purple's here and it's wrong, that means the only one that can go here is the green one. So we have the white and green. So what I'm going to do, I see that if I move this purple up here, and then this green comes over here, I can undo that first move. And now white and blue is next to white and green. And we'll do the same thing for the purple. So I see the white and purple is here, so I'll move it here, and that is the three white edges done. So now we got to do the white triangle pieces. And so we already have one in here, that's correct, so that's good. Let's look around, and we have one up at the top over here, and one over here. So I noticed since this one is in the top layer, if I move this above here, I can insert that one here, move it out of the way, bring this up, and bring this up. So this is a sledgehammer, right? Down, that's the down, down, up, up commutator. And then finally, we're ignoring these white corner pieces for now. And then finally, I see this one over here, and this one belongs over here, so. And yeah, that's, now we have all of those done. And let me show you what happens if it's not in the top layer really quick. Okay, so over here we have both of our white pieces here, but notice the white piece isn't here in the top layer, it's actually over here, right? So it doesn't really, so if there's one missing, let's move the missing area to where the white piece is, and then we'll just insert a different piece in here. And now the white piece is out, and now we can insert that back in, like we've done before. So I'm watching the video again. That was just way too complicated. You could have just turned the front face and you would have been good. Yeah, the white edge or the white triangle piece would have just ended up on the top. Back to the video. Now let's look at the corner pieces. So I see that this green and blue and white corner belongs between the white and blue and white and green edges. So it's gonna have to be above the place where it belongs. So here, if we look at the white face from our perspective, it's gonna, the corner we're looking for is gonna have to be in one of these places. And so it is in that, it is in that place, but if we bring it down, it's not gonna be in the correct orientation. So that means we'll have to move it to the other side over here. And now when we bring this down, it lines up. Let's do the same thing for over here. So this one will line up over here. Finally, this corner, if we bring it down here, it's not in the right place. So we have to move it to the other side and then bring it down. And that's the white thing solved. So, right. So now we got to do the rest of the layer. So what I notice is that, yeah, we need the triangle pieces above the corners. So we'll look around the top layer and we'll see if there are any white or if there are any pieces in the corners that would match these that would attach to the corners here. So I see that there's a red one here, and there's also a red one here that can go here. And the way we approach this is, first we would twist the top layer until we would find a red piece. So this is the red corner, here's the red piece. So we would twist it so that it would take the place of the corner. We would move this down and out of the way. We would move this up. We would undo our move away move, and then we would bring this back down. And so now we have this little triple solved. And we'll do the same thing over here. So I see the orange is up here, so I'll move it to where it belongs. Move this out of the way. I'll move this up, and then I'll undo that corner move and then move it back down. And now we have that. And then finally, I see no gray ones over here, so let's twist it again. And now we have two gray ones. I'll choose this one. So we'll move this out of the way, bring this up, and put it back down. And now we have all of those ones solved. So next we got to fill in these pieces, but while we're doing that, we're also going to put in the middle layer pieces. So opposite of white is yellow, and so we have to look for edge pieces that don't have yellow on it. Similar to how we approach the 3x3. Once you do the first layer, when you're filling in the second layer edges, you have to look for pieces that don't have yellow, because those will be on the top. So here, this won't belong on the middle layer, so we're fine. This is red and purple, which belongs up here. Now before I insert this in, notice that this will need a purple triangle attached to it. So I'm looking for a purple triangle, and I see there's this one. And so the sledgehammer will cycle these three on the opposite side of our white piece. And so if I wanted this triangle to go here, I would move this down here. I would move that in its place. That way when I undo this and undo this, now there's a purple triangle attached to our edge piece. And now we can move this down, move our corner out of the way, not like the way we did before. We want to keep this triangle piece attached. We would move this up again, or yeah. Let's try that again. So now that we have the edge piece and the triangle attached, we would move this out of the way, move this over, move this up, move this back, and move this down. And now we have the edge and the triangle attached to it. And so I have the red and green over here, which belongs here, and I would need a green triangle attached to it. And we've gotten lucky enough to have a triangle attached to it. So let's move this into its spot, move this out of the way, bring that back up, bring this over, and then bring this back down. And now we have those pieces attached here. And yeah, now we're just looking for more pieces, and I see there's an orange blue here, which belongs over here. And I need a blue piece over here. So I see a blue triangle over here. So I will bring this one down into that spot, bring this one up, and bring this one up into this spot. And now when I bring this down over here, it'll match up. I'll move this out of the way, move the front face, move this back down here, and now those are in place. Now we have this piece, but there's no triangle piece attached to it. We'll come back to this later, so we'll solve everything else as much as we can, and then we'll come back to this once there are no more edges we can input. So right now there's this gray and blue that needs to go here, and if there's a blue piece attached to it, but it's on the wrong side. So in fact, this blue needs to come here. So I'll look at the top layer, bring this down, bring this down, bring this up, bring this up. Now the blue triangle is attached to that, and now I can move that in, move this across, turn this around, move this up, bring this back, put it down. Now all of these are solved, all of these are solved, almost all of these are solved, but we need the white piece, we need the purple piece in here. And the way we approach that is we would do something similar, except now we would just want to insert this piece into here. And we don't want the purple piece in here because we'll have to take it out again. So in which case we'll have a yellow gray and another yellow piece. So if we just undo everything, or redo everything like we've done it before, now the wrong pieces are in, but now we have more control of what this piece is. And it looks like we need the purple piece here, and there's a purple piece up here. So I'll move this down, down, up, and now we'll do this again. So we'll move the front, move the top out of the way, bring this up, bring the front, bring the top back, and then move it here. And now we have all of these chunks of pieces solved. Next, what we want to do is we want to make sure all of the triangles or all of these edge pieces are in the right spot. So now we have all of those in the right spot, and you'll only ever have to make rotations. There'll be no flips. You'll never get parity here. Then what we want to do, we want to make sure all of these corners are in the right spot. So here we have a red or a yellow, red, gray. We have a yellow, orange, gray, and I'm looking at the colors on the corner such that the colors adjacent to each of the yellow spots, each of the yellow sticker. So this is a yellow, orange, gray piece, and this is a yellow, orange, red piece. So notice they're not in the right spot because in this spot, this would be a yellow, gray, and red piece. So that means this one belongs over here, this one belongs over here, and this one belongs over here. So, whoops. If there is a clockwise rotation, we are going to rotate counterclockwise, right? So our up move is going to be rotated counterclockwise. So this is what I mean. So we'll move this out of the way, move counterclockwise, we'll put this back, counterclockwise, we'll move this up, counterclockwise, we'll move this back. And in your case, if you need to rotate clockwise, then this will be, then you'll have to rotate counterclockwise. And then if you need to rotate it counterclockwise, you would spin it clockwise. Now, all you will ever have to swap are just these little triangle pieces. And the way you would do that is, or actually one thing that's really convenient is that you'll never have to swap triangle pieces on adjacent faces. So in other words, you'll never have to swap a blue triangle piece with an orange, gray, or white, right? You'll never have to swap a purple piece with a red, white, or an orange, and you'll never have to swap an orange piece with a yellow, purple, or blue. So in other words, only faces that are touching by the corners will ever have to swap. So in which case, I see that the blue and purple faces out of the blue, purple, green, and yellow, only these two triangles need to swap. And the way we would do this is I would bring these together, and now they are opposite of each other relative to the corner. And I'll just display the algorithm right now, which is the sledgehammer and then sledgehammer in a different place. So down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. And what that does is it flips these little triples. So in other words, it swaps to edges, or swaps to these triangle pieces, and then rotates these pieces as well, right? And we can do these rotations independently in a different way, and I'll show that later. So if we want to unflip these, we would again have them be positioned above us, down, down, up, down, down, up. So again, we would do the sledgehammer like this, we'd rotate it, do the sledgehammer like this. So now what I want to do is if I bring this piece and this piece opposite of each other, and I do the sledgehammer, let's say here and here, that'll switch this blue and green, which is not ideal, but we can fix that later. And so let's think about it like this. If I move these two pieces, that's 2 setup moves. And then if I wanted to undo this, I would only need 1 setup move. So I'll do that sacrifice for now. So down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. And now I'll undo those setup moves. And now notice we did have these swap, but it's okay, because now what I'm gonna do, this is 1 setup move, and now I'll undo these so it's 0 setup moves to have them opposite each other. And there are much more clever ways to swap 2 edges, but right now I don't want to have too many setup moves, because that you can easily lose track of what pieces need to go where, and you'll end up just messing everything up. So I like to bring the amount of setup moves down from 2 to 1, and then now to 0, and now we have opposite edges that need to swap adjacent to each other. The way I want to do this is that if I'm going to swap 2, I need to swap 2 more, and that would necessitate 2 of them being opposite of each other. So I see this green could go here, so I'll move this one over, and I'll move this back up. Now these 2 can swap, and these 2 can swap. Now I can undo that first setup move and undo the second setup move, and now there's nothing that needs to be rotated. And actually what's really cool is that there's a cool 3 cycle here, where if there's a swap here and a swap here, I could also undo this swap and do this swap. So let's try that. So first I'll do these and these 2. And now those need to be swapped. And then down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. And now it's solved. But there are some cases that you might run into. So for example, you'll have two corners that need to be swapped or need to be rotated. So I'll show that really quick. All right, so that was not sneaky at all. But you see now these corners need to be rotated. And the way you would do this is you would do a sledgehammer, let's say with these 2, and that would rotate this. I would move this corner into that space, and then I'd undo the sledgehammer. So let's do it right here. Whoops. So now I rotated this triple, and now that corner is fixed, but we'll need to undo this swap. And the way we'll do this is that we'll put this in this space, so that way when we undo our first commutator, that will unflip this and reswap these down. So I'll move this into that space, and now we'll undo that commutator again. And so now that's good. That corner is unswapped, and now all you have to do is cycle these three corners again. This one goes here, this one goes here, that one goes here, and that one goes here. And yeah, that's the solve of the face-turning octahedron. So now I will get out the timer up here, and we'll do a quick solve. So. Alright, so now we have a solve over here. Let's just make sure that the clock is working. Yes, it does. Alright, so I see this white edge, I see this white edge. If I bring that one down, it's in the wrong place. But that one over here, so I'll have to rotate this, bring that over, and then rotate again and bring this up. Okay, yeah, so 3, 2, 1. And I'm off to a shaky start already. This is really lucky. I also got So now I need these. Oh, these are in the wrong spot. That one is. And I have no idea how people do these so fast. Oh, crap. These are in the right spot? No, they're not. All right. Wow, that took way too long. I came across some like really weird edge cases. But yeah, thanks for watching.